Hello everybody, welcome back. I hope you guys are having a really good week. If you'll recall, last week we talked about mental toughness development, where it comes from. At the end of it, we started talking about the skills that mentally tough performers possess. Moving forward, we're going to start to talk about each one of these skills individually, in particular what the skill consists of, and how they can be implemented in your game. Today, we're going to introduce the concept of goal setting. Now, generally, everybody has a good idea of what goals are. We have a good idea of what goal setting looks like, but a lot of problems start to happen on the follow-through or the plan or implementation strategies of these goals. I'm sure you've been in a public gym in January and then been at the same public gym in February. Looks totally different, and what you see is people who lack follow through on their goals. Identifying our goals is relatively easy, but what's more difficult is choosing the right kind of goals. These sort of goals should increase your motivation and provide direction for your actions. Let's start by defining a goal. A goal is the result or achievement toward which effort is directed. So here we can see that this definition consists of two things. One, the result, and two, the effort that's needed. So we can look at goals through two different factors. First, we can look at them from their duration. That would be the difference between short and long-term goals, which we're going to cover next video. Secondly, we can look at them from their type. We can break goals down into three different types. We have outcome goals, performance goals, and process goals. Outcome goals are defined as a competitive result. For example, winning the upcoming game on the weekend is an outcome goal. By definition, an outcome goal is literally how yours or your team's skills match up against somebody else's. So an element of social comparison is always evident throughout our outcome goals. This means that their achievement depends not only on your skills, but on the skills of others and other external factors. Now, one of the best descriptions of performance goals comes from author Jordan Peterson's book, 12 Rules for Life. Rule number 4 is compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not who somebody else is today. Performance goals are the measurement of our own personal improvement. These goals are going to be more flexible than our outcome goals, and they're more in our control because they depend less on external factors. And lastly, our process goals are the skills and actions that we actually do when we're competing or when we're in practice. These include things like being patient on our feet, being quick to position, and maintaining strong situational awareness. So we're going to look at each of these three goals from two different factors: probability and control. Probability is the relative possibility that an event will occur. For example, if you roll a fair dice, the probability of rolling a 3 should be 1 in 6. Control is the ability to exert influence on a certain event. So using that same example of rolling a 3 on the dice, if we're able to round certain edges on the dice so that it's more likely 3 comes up, we've exerted an influence which will increase the probability of achieving the desired outcome. Now, if our outcome goal is to secure a roster spot on our desired team in the fall, let's consider some of the factors that can play a role in the achievement of that goal. Firstly, we have your skills and performance. That's how you play during the tryout process. Second, we have some in-game situational factors. This includes things like the quality of scoring chances you see and how your team plays as well. Thirdly, we have to consider the skills and performance of other players. This includes the goalies that you're trying out against. Fourth, we need to consider the decision of the coaches and managers who are picking the team. In these circumstances, we really only have control over our performance, and that's 1 out of 4 factors. Then, from a probability standpoint, if you play the best hockey you ever have, there's still a possibility that you may not achieve your goal. So from a control aspect, we don't have a ton of control over our outcome goals. Now, if we look at performance goals, remember performance goals are based on personal improvement. Let's say that we want to improve our save percentage from a .895 to a .910. Here, there's really only two different factors at play. We have your skills and your performance and some in-game situational factors. You can improve your save percentage by just increasing your skills that allows you to make more saves and allow less goals, but at the same time, one factor that influences your save percentage is the quality of scoring chances that you see. For example, if you see 20 shots in a game and 12 of those shots are grade A scoring chances, it's very unlikely that you're going to achieve that desired save percentage of .910. So from a probability standpoint, we have a much higher probability of achieving our performance goals because there's less external factors at play, but they're still not 100% in our control. Now, our process goals, keep in mind, are the things that we actually do in performance. They're the skills we have to execute in order to perform well. Using the same performance goal of increasing our save percentage, we can do that in a number of ways. We can be more patient on our feet. We can control more first saves. We can be quicker to position. We can manage traffic better. All of these are skills that you have direct influence over. So because we have 100% control over the execution of these skills, the probability of achieving our process goals is much higher than both our performance and our outcome goals. And this is what people mean when they use the term controllables, or say things like focus on the things in your control or be process focused. It means to turn your your attention to the steps that you can physically do, and this in turn will allow you to influence both your performance and your outcome goals. This is a common theme through most types of self-improvement rhetoric as well. I'm sure you've all heard some variation of the quote, "Success is a journey, not a destination. The doing is often more important than the outcome." This is because process goals focus on the things that you can do and the influences you can have, rather than the things that can be done to you. However, this doesn't mean the performance and outcome goals are irrelevant. All three types of goals are necessary for athletic success. So stay tuned for the next episode where we're going to use all three types of goals combined with both short and long-term durations in order to come up with an effective goal map or goal strategy. Now, I'm going to introduce my quarantine quirk of the week, which is a segment that's going to start to appear at the end of each of our videos. We know that you guys may be bored at home, so we're going to start to discuss things that we find interesting and hope that you guys might like as well. This week, my quirk is music related. Two albums that I've had on repeat for the last month are Sturgill Simpson's Metamodern Sounds in Country Music and Purgatory by Tyler Childers. As some of you may know, I'm generally not an advocate of country music, but I think that true art and true authenticity transcends musical genres. These albums have quite a traditional sound, so it's likely a bit different than the country music that you'll hear on the radio. But if you're a fan of music in general, go check them out, and I hope you like it. As always, if you guys have any questions or need any clarification, feel free to drop a comment down below. You can also find any of the sources that I've used making this video down there as well. Hope you guys have a really good week, and we'll see you next time.